Welcome back to the next module. This one will probably be clear, concise, and consistent. That's the next module. All right, being clear, concise, and consistent. Let's talk about that. Being an impactful leader, you really have to make sure you're very clear, you're very concise, and consistent in the communication. All right, let's talk about each one in general. Let's talk about the power of clarity, the power of consistency, and the power of conciseness. If you really want to influence people, you need to be very concise, very clear, and very consistent. It's very important that everything is understood. I like directness. I like being direct, to the point, and very clear. So let's talk about what the power of clarity is, because clarity really is the foundation of effective leadership within communication itself. It involves breaking down the complex ideas into very simple, understandable messages. Know your message. So make sure before you communicate, you are crystal clear to yourself about what you want to convey and how you want that message and purpose to be communicated. Don't just wing it. Make sure you go into it understanding why and what. Always the why, always the what. Why is the message important? What is the message? That's simple, but we forget it. Use simple languages always. Avoid jargon. I like to say fourth, fifth grade level. It always works very well. And be very specific. Generalities lead to confusion, but be very specific. If you come up to someone and says, we really have to improve sales and get about $5 million. No, you say, our goal is $5 million and we're here to determine how we're going to achieve that. See the difference? Now, being concise is really very important within communication itself, but it's being basically brief, yet involved and comprehensive. It's respecting your team's time and attention span. I think that's book stuff. It's true. But being concise not only does that, it's not only respecting your team's time and attention span, but it's more so that they understand it. And if you can say it in a concise way and everyone understand it, you actually understand the topic you're talking about really well and the goal you're talking about really well. So being concise is important because if you're not concise, you leave it open. So if you go through something, let's say you want to build balloons faster, and basically you have 10 balloons per hour, and you go to your team and tell your team, well, we got to increase our balloons per hour or we're going to have some cost issues and that's not going to look good for us. No, you basically go in there and say concise saying, our goal is instead of 10 balloons per hour, we want to get to 15 balloons per hour. How do we do that? You're being concise as to what the goal is, where you're going. It's not open for interpretation. Understand? I think you do. Consistency is so important. You're going to hear this over and over again. Inconsistency is the culture killer. It kills culture like you can't believe. It kills respect. It kills belief. It kills everything. So ensure your consistency. Align your words and action. That doesn't mean you don't change. You just explain the change, that it's part of the consistent plan. So ensure that what you say aligns with what you do. Inconsistencies are terrible and they just lead to mistrust and confusion, and it's not a good thing. You really want to have a tone and a style that's you. Whether you're speaking or writing or anything, try to be consistent so it's you, and always have follow-ups and regular follow-ups with people to make sure people are on track and they understand what's going on, that you have been clear and concise and consistent. And I want to go back a little bit about tone and style. When you go through as a leader, you might have some weird quirks. You might be a different person. It doesn't matter. Embrace who you are. Do not try to be someone else. Now, with that being said, if you go, I'm just a dictator. No, that's not what that means. Embrace who you are in general. As someone who thinks they're a dictator, you're probably just very blunt and to the point. That's okay. That's a strength, but use it as a strength, as involvement rather than shutting other people out, making sure you keep people very involved. And here's some good tips for this. It's really about preparing. When you want to send a message, prepare that message and plan and think through what you're going to say and think through what are the questions most people ask and how can you make sure you avoid those questions. Questions are good, but as you're working through communication, you want to always think of it that way. You want to listen and practice listening and really go in and have practice. Maybe talk to a friend that sometimes can drive you bananas and just listen and ask questions before you keep interrupting them. Seek feedback on your communication style. Don't be afraid to ask your team members, your superiors, friends about your communication style. What's it do? How does it impact you? How does it impact others? It's important that you're always looking to refine that and get feedback from others. Use visual aids really help complement your verbal communication. Have slides, write it down on a chalkboard or whatever the heck it is with the Sharpies. Write it down on the board and go through it with everyone. Be adaptable and adjust your communication style to the person you're talking to. Awareness is key, always in communication. In your journey as a leader, you need to really master the art of being clear, concise, and consistent. It is so crucial. I can't overemphasize any of this. It's just not about what you communicate, but it's how you do it. By embracing the principles I just talked about, your leadership effectiveness will skyrocket. You'll also get an open culture, an efficient culture, and you'll build communication that is very trustworthy amongst each other within your team. And again, when that all happens, that combines, you'll see the difference right away. Be clear, concise, and consistent. Big David.